Hello and welcome to this little bit of an update video where I'm going to be talking about what I'm going to be doing in the near future of the channel. You might have noticed that I haven't done a review for quite a while, and the reason for that is because I've actually been bulk making reviews for the month of October. What are these reviews for, you might be asking? Well, before I get into that, let me give you some background detail. Halloween and the month of October have always been sort of special occasions on the channel. In fact, I started this channel all the way back in 2016 as a Halloween special, where I reviewed the first Hugo game, which spanned a series of 13 videos. In 2017, my Halloween special was my review of Resident Evil, which to this day is one of the most popular videos on my channel. Then in 2018 for my Halloween special, I reviewed one of the best horror games ever made, in fact the best horror game ever made in my opinion, PT. Which is one of the videos that I'm actually the most proud of, despite it not doing that well in terms of views. And now for the month of October, I want to step things up a bit and make more videos than ever before, and talk about a series that's actually extremely special to me. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Oddtober. Oddtober starts in the month of October, and I'll be releasing new video reviews based on the main series Oddworld games every Friday. So I'll be going through Oddworld Abe's Oddysee, Oddworld Abe's Exoddus, Oddworld Munch's Oddysee, and finally Oddworld Stranger's Wrath. You might be asking about Oddworld New and Tasty, with that being the newest release in the series at this point. But I figured I would save that maybe for a potential second Oddtober, depending on how well this one does. But for those of you who are fans of Oddworld New and Tasty, I do plan on live streaming the game on October the 14th too, so you can come and join me over there if you want to know my opinion on that game. So some of you might be asking, why am I doing this? Well, firstly, the Oddworld games are pretty dark in tone and could be considered scary, so it's a good fit for the month of October, I think. Secondly, I'm a massive fan of the series. I own every single one of the games physically as well as digitally, and I've played through them all countless times. I mean, I'm such a big fan that I even got the limited run edition of New and Tasty for the PS4 when that was available. Just to prove how much of a fan of this series I am, as well as show off my collection a little bit because I've never really done that, let's go through some of the Oddworld related things that I have just about the house. So firstly, I've got this tin sign that hangs up in the kitchen, which is like a fake advert for scrab cakes and paramite pies, as well as this tin of canned Madokans too. I also have this Alf the Madokan plush, which has been in the background of the video for this entire time. And he also makes fart noises when you squeeze him, which is a nice little detail. I do really want to get my hands on the Abe and Munch plush toys that they do, but they were kind of like a limited thing, so they can be quite difficult to get your hands on. But maybe one day I'll find them for a good price and pick them up. I have the original art book for the Oddworld series, which released in I think 2004. It's called Oddworld the First 10 Years, and today it's actually quite a rare book. They didn't publish that many copies. I know they did like a republishing of it, but even then they didn't republish that many copies either. So this is actually one of my prized sort of possessions in my game collection, and it's very expensive to get your hands on nowadays too. It's a really good art book though, and I highly recommend reading through it digitally if you can't get your hands on the physical one. I also have the limited edition green vinyl for New and Tasty, which did have a really cool soundtrack, and the vinyl also came with a couple of extras too, like a digital version of the original Abe's Oddysee soundtrack, and a poster. And yeah, it's a really cool package. I'm really glad to have that in my vinyl collection. I also have the new art book that's coming out called Abe's Origins, pre-ordered. I kickstarted that on the first day that it went live, actually, I think. So yeah, I'm really excited to give that one a read. Hopefully it's as good as the first art book. I might even do a video on that when that actually arrives, because that's going to be a pretty substantial package, I think, from their description of it anyway. But yeah, the gist of all this that I'm saying is that I am a pretty passionate fan of the Oddworld series, and it's kind of weird that I've not done a video about it until now. But why am I such a big fan? Well, I played these games when I was very young. They were released on the PS1, so I probably would have started playing them around the age of 7 or 8. And I feel like back then I was playing them just as fun games, but there was always something sort of beneath the surface. There was something about these games that I was enjoying more than any other game. And I think, looking back on it nowadays, what that was is that this game has a much deeper lore and a much deeper universe than most other games that were coming out at the time. No other game series was really doing that, particularly back then. So yeah, I think that's one of the reasons it stood out. But another one of the reasons is because beneath this layer of gameplay and beneath this storyline that's going on set in Oddworld, there's also this subtext that sort of reflects our own world through the lens of Oddworld. And as I've gotten older, it's that aspect of it that I've appreciated a little bit more. I sort of think the themes of rampant industrialization and just like consumerism heightened to the absolute maximum are themes that really do resonate with me. I think that I criticize society quite a lot based on those aspects. And for Oddworld to have been doing that when I was a kid, but for me to have just not quite realised it yet, I think it's something quite special. I think it's safe to say that the Oddworld games may have opened up my eyes to some degree to those themes, even though I didn't realise it at the time. And because of that, it could have even have affected the way that I see the world as I got older. Even if it was to only a little bit of an extent. I mean, what other game series can say that they have the ability to do that to someone? So I think with Oddworld being one of the pioneers of having some sort of message, having some sort of subtext hidden within the game, makes it really special, on top of the factor that it has this expanding universe that evolves over time, which also makes it special. And the fact that the games are genuinely really good. There's just all of these different layers. There's the gameplay, there's the story of the game, there's the subtext. And this all comes together in these games that really do make these experiences something special to me. So yeah, I think that pretty much sums up the reason why I'm such a big fan of the Oddworld series, and a little bit about my history with it too. Having basically just gushed over the series for this whole time, what I will say is that there are going to be some high and lows throughout this review series, because not every Oddworld game is a masterpiece. In fact, all of them have some flaws, but we'll get into that in the actual videos. So yeah, don't expect me to be just gushing over the games, because there are problems. So if you're interested in my journey through the Oddworld games, looking at them with a more critical eye than what I've ever done before, if you're a fan of the Oddworld series and just want to watch more content, then join me for Oddtober. And I think that about wraps up this video. Let me know if you've got a history with Oddworld, or if you've got a history with any other games that have affected you on sort of a personal level. Like, what game series is the most special to you? Like, what game series actually means something to you? And sort of on a deeper level than just enjoying the gameplay. Let me know, because I'm interested in hearing your stories. So yeah, until next time, I'll catch you later. Bye!